Hi, I'm gonna do a little ugly video from my rental about why your house should evolve as your life does. So, let me give you a quick example. My aunt, uh, who is so my idol, she's 81 years old and she is vibrant and lively and does Zumba every day. And like, she's just so much fun to be around. And when her and my uncle bought their condo and decorated it, they had a very specific style. You know, there are these gorgeous oil paintings on the walls and very classic wood furniture. And, the kitchen has a very similar design. And, my aunt has said that on more than one occasion, she would love to redo the kitchen. And if she redid the kitchen, she would need to redo the furniture and she'd love to have more of a modern look. And when I was a full-time artist, I made a painting that said, "It's not the day and age we're in. It's the age you are in the age we're in." Because if you look at someone like me, for instance, I'm my early 40s. I'll be 42 this year. Oh my God, that's so weird, right? And I'm having that reaction because I can remember 20-year-old Erica. I can remember the design rules that she had for her room, which were basically every wall needs to have something. Blank walls were not okay. Negative space was not a thing. I wasn't a maximalist, but I wasn't exactly okay with like a lot of free space. I loved having a bowl of candy for my friends or something. Like hospitality was very important to me, having spaces where my friends could feel comfortable. Like I designed with that in mind. And there was always a statement, something like there was, when you walked in, I either had my futon bunk bed against the main wall so that took up the whole space and that was the focal point, or when I moved the bed to the side, there was quick story. My friend dated this guy. This guy stole a sign that was meant to advertise for restaurant employees, and it was this big tarp kind of thing. He stole it. He gave it to her. She needed to hide it. She brought it to my house. We hung it up on the wall. That became the focal thing for a little while. It's terrible. I eventually got rid of it. I'm sure I did because it's not in my storage, but I mean, I think I had that thing for like 10 years or something. And it was a memory. It had a phone number on it and everything. But I had certain design values, right? Like entertainment, hospitality, focal point, no empty walls, like everything had to have flow. There were little stations, there was like a little kitchenette kind of station. And then there was like the bedroom station. Like there were different little spaces, right? Because I had, my room was in the basement. I had the whole basement to myself as a teenager. But Erica of today would not decorate the way 20-year-old Erica did. And that is because of influence, evolution, current trends, current lifestyle, current day-to-day needs. I'm going to call it household dynamics. I don't want to say family dynamics because I don't have a family, but household dynamics. What I do or don't have, the fact that I don't have a family certainly dictates a lot of my decorating. I can have the bust of my dad on the table. It was done in 1968 and I don't have to worry about it, right? My cat is not going to knock that over. She's 16 years old and she's sleeping in a chair right now. I don't have to worry about that. So, I, being the person that I am, can very clearly see how my decorating style has evolved. But someone like my aunt, for her to feel like she wants to redecorate or needs to redecorate is a little bit of rebelling against a former version of her and my uncle because they spent all this money to do it. You know, they loved it when they did it. And now it's just not who they are anymore, or it's not who she feels she is anymore. And she'd like something more modern. And it's just, everybody has that. Like, whether we recognize it or acknowledge it, that's a whole different story. Some people want to make those changes and they won't let themselves. They feel like they need to justify, like if they don't have a really, really, really good reason, or they don't have an absolute necessity dictating that they make these changes, then they won't make these changes because they're financially invested. There was, 20 years that they got out of their kitchen and they just can't believe that it's outdated, right? Like, I had that moment in my own home. I went, wow, I put in this kitchen 12 years ago and some cabinets are already faded. I can already see going to something else. And I'm like, but I spent all this money on my kitchen. And what am I going to have to redo this every 10 years? Every 20 years? Like, it kind of shocked me. And so I can understand why some people just get a little, I almost want to use the word cynical. Like, they think they don't deserve to upgrade their space to fit who they are now because they spent so much money on getting stuff for who they were before. But that's robbing yourself of this opportunity to continue to let your life evolve. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of like trying to go on a job interview today wearing a suit from 1970. Like, it's not going to get you the job. It's not going to get you the result you want. Look, I'm in fashion, not in fashion, but and I'm definitely not dressed fashionably right now, and I'm in my pajamas, but I love fashion. So I just want to say the caveat that depending on what kind of job you're going for, you could absolutely get away with a suit from the 70s and it would be freaking cool. But for most things, you're going to look tired. You're going to look out of place. You're going to look not current. And you're not going to look like you can relate to what's going on in the world. And I think that there's something really healthy about being able to keep with it, right? Like, to keep your life moving forward with the world. Like, things are evolving. Even if everybody unplugged themselves from social media and just media in general and all their computers and just went back to person-to-person communication as the only means of doing things and mail, I mean, we would still be evolving. We would still have new technologies and new ways of doing things and new methods and new clothing styles and wars dictating, how much the price of oil is, and just, the trickle effect of all of these butterfly effect moments. It's there, and it's going to continue to be there. It doesn't matter the age you are. It doesn't matter if you're 13, 30, or 75. Like, the world keeps changing, and you have a right to change with it. Now, I'm not saying that you should go and explode and undo everything that you've done in your life. It doesn't take that much of a change. But to deny yourself the opportunity to purge or choose not to be sentimental. Do you know what I mean? Like, just because you were sentimental about something doesn't mean you have to stay sentimental. You're allowed to grow. You're allowed to change, and your stuff should change with you. I'm not a proponent of rampant commercial consumerism. I'm not. I think that you should have the things that matter to you the most, and the things that, when you look at them, make you feel alive. And I understand how hard it is to part with things. I really do. I've had to do it a lot in my life. In fact, I'm going to tell you another quick story. When I was a teenager, I loved clothes so much that I had a Z-Rack, a double-tiered Z-Rack in my room. And if you don't know what a Z-Rack is, a Z-Rack is something that retail stores put all their clothes on. It's a commercial grade hanging storage thing that is secure for when you move it around. And I had one of those. And I thought about getting a second one because I had so many clothes. And this is like 7 feet long, people. This is like 7 feet long, 2 tiers. I was like 16 and I had this, okay? And no, my parents did not buy my clothes for me. This is where any money I ever earned went. This is what I did with my time. I loved it even back then. So, and I was buying cheap stuff. There wasn't a whole lot of expensive stores in my area. But I had this Z-Rack and it was packed. And then I had the industrial shelving, like what you would put in a garage. Again, the like 7 feet wide and like 6 feet tall and the big metal racks. And on that, I had sweatshirts and sweatpants and sleep shirts and t-shirts and like all that kind of stuff. And then I had another whole hanging rack for jackets and outerwear and heavier stuff. So I remember the very first time that I decided to let go of clothing. And my God, was it hard. Because I would look at something and I would feel like, well, I got that. I love it. I want to wear it. I know the instance when I could wear it. I know the instance, the event, the party, the thing where I will reach for it. I can picture it in my head. If XYZ ever happens, I'm going to need that. And I had to cut that off at the knees. I had to tell myself, you're holding on to things for one moment in time. And it's costing you all of this space. If it doesn't support, and 16, 17, 18-year-old Erica didn't say it this way precisely, but it was pretty close to it. If it doesn't support the majority of your life, if it doesn't support who you are every day, if it doesn't support what you need regularly, then you should let it go. Because by the time I did this exercise, and the shirt I'm picturing in particular, it was like a Western style shirt. And I thought, oh my gosh, if I ever go to like a country party, this is going to be the shirt that I wear because I look so good in it and it's perfect. And it was 3 years that I'd had that shirt. I never wore it. So I just said to myself, like, that's it. That's it. If you haven't had an opportunity in 3 years to wear this, you don't need to keep it. Gone. Bye-bye. Gonzo. And I don't even remember what the options were back then for getting rid of things. Like maybe I put it in a donation bin. I'm sure I didn't just throw it out. But I know I didn't bring it to consignment because there were none of those around at the time. Like I didn't, and I just mean in my area. I'm not saying they didn't exist. They just didn't exist in my area. So, you know, I just didn't have, I didn't have that outlet to be able to like recoup my costs in a sense. So, I am giving you permission, in case you need it, to have your space evolve, to have it evolve with you, to have it support your evolution. You know, there's something really, really delicious about going on vacation. And yeah, the views and the landscape and the activities we're doing are great, but 9 times out of 10, the first breath of fresh air is not outside. It's in your hotel room, or it's in your Airbnb, or it's in the cottage, or it's in your friend's extra bedroom. You know what I mean? And it's because you're free. There's nothing except for the few things you brought with you that have your attention, that need to be taken care of. And the things you chose to come with you are the things that are the bare minimum that you need for those things to take care of you. So if you can just remember that every single thing you have is going to need to be taken care of by you. It needs to be hung up. It needs to be cleaned. It needs to be used. It needs to be managed. Do you know what I mean? Like a fur coat can't just sit in the closet for 16 years. It needs some attention. You know, the bag that you think, oh, I'm going to use this when I swap out the blah, 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 blah. Okay, well, how often are you going to do that? Because every time you do it, it's going to take 2, 5, 10 minutes to swap out a bag. Is it worth it? Like all the beauty products, do they complicate your morning routine? Or is your morning routine so simple that you feel magnificent getting ready and getting out the door lickety split? Like, it doesn't matter what area of your home you're talking about. There are things that need your attention, and there are things that take care of you. And if you can't define those things and they're in the middle ground, that's okay. But if you think about it, you'll be able to define what's what. So let go of the things that don't serve you. I know. People talk about it all the time. It's not easy to do. And for me now, when I go through my closet, boom, 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 gone, 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 out, out, out. And I feel good about it. I mean, look, I'm happy. I'm like, oh my gosh, get it out of my life. If I put something on and it doesn't have form, function, fashion, fit, like, nope, out. Itchy, gone. Doesn't let me lift my arms without doing the pucker thing, gone. Oh, it's the wrong color, doesn't serve my skin, gone. I think I'm gonna wear it in the summertime, but it's black. And, I don't do black in the summertime, even though it's a tank top, gone. Like, just let it go. And know that it's going to end up with the person that it should end up with. Someone who is going to wear a black tank top because it is their favorite thing to wear. And they have dark, gorgeous long hair and it looks perfect on them. And it serves their functionality. Maybe they wear it to the gym. Maybe they wear it when they get home and they're lounging around with their boyfriend. Like, they're going to have a purpose for that thing in a way that I don't. So it's just like letting things go and letting them go to the people that are going to enjoy them the most. And you don't have to make it your job to find that person. It's not your job. Let the universe take care of it. Let Goodwill take care of it. Let God take care of it. Let your neighbor take care of it. Let the garbage man take care of it. Whatever it is, just let it go.